tucked away in the bustling city of Turin under the guise of familiarity. Horatio was seated between the faint mix of ink, coffee, and the plasticky scent of worn leather. 2 months had already passed. He was now immune to reading the vapid columns, raving about celebrity drama. Who really cared about this crap anyway? He mumbled to himself. The hushed sounds of trivial conversations that lack importance pulse like fish moving towards fresh water. Yet for reasons he could not quite explain, he kept going, clinging to his position in a role that paid the bills and nothing more. Alyssa's voice penetrated the buzz. "Hey, Horatio, are we having lunch together?" Alyssa had a soft voice, matched by her curls that folded like a carousel of amber and scarlet. She reminded him of one of the background figures in an important Renaissance painting. "Sure. Should we walk to Gemelli?" Alyssa's eyes lit up. She wanted to try the coffee. It was using ancient coffee beans sourced at a site deep in the forest. As the wind carried the conversation, he could hardly hear a word, but nodded, tilting his head to get within earshot. Horatio loved the architecture in the city, the arches finding their way along each window or silently shaping patterns on the floor. The storefronts felt ornate, still holding the reverence of centuries-aged craftsmanship. Alyssa's hand brushed past his, and he felt the urge to hold it. She always had lipstick on, sometimes glossy, but always red. "Hey, how is the article going?" "The one about the graveyards." She always remembered the smallest details. Once she mentioned how the colour of his socks matched his tie, when only a slither could be seen. "Nothing yet," he replied with a flat tone, looking down at his right hand, flexing it from the sensation of typing too much. "But did you know, the first instance of a graveyard may have been in the Tafarat cave in Morocco, which is thought to be the oldest known cemetery in the world. The cave is a resting place of at least 34 Ibermorusian people who were buried there between 14 to 15,000 years ago. It's wild to think that we've been burying bodies ever since. Just imagine the scattered bones under this beautiful park." She smiled, showing interest with a slight distaste from the idea. "You'll find something soon," she said with excitement. As they walked back, the rain gently pattered on the shop canvas, trailing into puddles on the street, each one barely cradled by smooth rock. They rushed back into the office and noticed other colleagues walking by. Paolo threw a newspaper at him and shouted, "Page 36. Horatio ran up to his chair, looking through the paper with speed. It read, "A small overground cemetery on the outskirts of town. A caretaker had found graves disturbed, not destroyed or desecrated, just shifted. The soil on top was carefully removed, the headstones untouched, and each one bore a small handwritten slip with a single word. The words were simple, cryptic, lost, tomorrow, silence." He began to take notes, trying to piece together his jumbled writing. Weeks passed. Horatio's notebook grew thicker, filled with sketches of the graveyard, diagrams of each gravesite, timelines and speculations. He could feel himself growing closer to a breakthrough, though he couldn't say why. It was as though he was being pulled, one piece of evidence at a time, towards something he could neither see nor understand. One late evening, he was walking home, and a man tall and silent stood at the entrance of the park, his back to Horatio. The man held a small wooden box in his hand. Though he couldn't see the man's face, he sensed an intense focus, something in the way the man held the box, as if it were the only thing anchoring him to this world. As Horatio approached him, a stray dog ran across the street, almost colliding. Horatio looked at the gate. The man was no longer there. It was still dark in his small apartment. The red light of his alarm clock read 4:17 a.m. He reached for his notebook, but then the dream slipped away, leaving him with only a single vivid image in his mind. A box, handcrafted and ornate, inscribed with strange ancient symbols. It felt like a key, a piece he had been searching for all along without knowing it.